stuck between my rights and my wrongs. Second guessing what I'm doing. Like, am I really there for my boy? Not enough, but if I'm paying child support, do the making for time that I've lost. Whole time paying this court system. Can't even call my little man a game system, cause my checks be short. And if your bag too short, well, you had to miss a month. Slipping up, I gotta pick it up. Grind limitless, but it got your folks like, yeah, I hope you don't get caught. Like I missed them payments on purpose. Cause you see I failed and I'm hurting. Ain't had no job, so no working. Or the job I work is not working.
Shalom, this is your ARC. Yah is magnified. Coming back with another informative video. I titled this video, Will Gary Lynn Scott Jr. have a trial before a federal court, part 2. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, guys, let's continue to apply this pressure, okay? Don't get distracted by this so-called fraud of law known as Armin Osiris trying to make it seem as though he's for the people. Okay, if he was so-called for the people, he would have took me up on my challenge when I said, you take one person for free, I take one person for free, and let's show the people who is really that deal and who's not. He said no. So that clearly lets you know he's all about money, and he also clearly lets you know that he cannot help you. So his next resort is, because he can't get results in court to show evidence, he want to go down there and talk to this guy named Scott Leakin. I don't know Scott Leakin personally. I can actually care less about the guy, okay? What he's doing does not affect me, and it's just that simple. So if you want to run down there and talk to Scott Leakin, you know, go ahead. But I'm not, because I don't have nothing to do with that. Osiris said he talked to Scott Leakin multiple times. Okay, if you talk to Scott Leakin multiple times and you're supposed to be the so-called God, then why do you need a mere man such as myself to go down there with you if you this so-called God? Take your powers and go down there and do what you need to do. But then I thought about it. Why do he need me? Then it hit me. He need me because I'm the only one that's showing results. That's why he need me. He need me because I get results done. So he need me to go with him because he can't do it on his own. Like when I'm showing y'all with his client's paperwork. It's all the same thing. So don't try to come on here making it seem like you're here for the people. You claim you have 24,000 subscribers, right? Take your 24,000 subscribers and all y'all jump on a bus or a couple of buses and go down there and talk to Scott Leakin and see how far you get. It's just that simple. You don't need me. Take your subscribers you keep bragging about. Go down there and do what y'all need to do. But now let's get back on topic, okay? Let's continue to show you all what's going to happen or what's happened or what has taken place in Gary Lynn Scott Jr. case, who is also Armin Osiris' client. See, that's what he don't like. He want to call out people, talk trash, but then when I start exposing him for the fraud he truly is, now he's crying, talking about, why y'all coming after me? You know why I'm coming after you, chump. Because you always throwing subliminal diss shots. So now when I put it out there in the public, now you're looking scared and you're afraid. Why? Because it's clear that I'm breaking you down. And I'm going to continue to break you down, man. So let's get to it. Let's finish showing these people the outcome of your client's case. Since you don't want to take me up on my offer. Let's get there. So now as you all can see, again, the same person, Gary Lynn Jr. of the Scott family. We all know who does that, but let's continue. We all know who talks about the 42 U.S.C. subsection 654.3, the alone, separate, and apart child support program XR. See, this is what he don't want y'all to see, but I'm putting it out there for y'all can see what's really going on in these federal courts. That's why all of a sudden now he's saying you have to win in state court to get remedy in federal court. But it's impossible for him because he said you can't win in state court. So according to him, if he can't help you win in state court, then how can he help you win in federal court if you have to win in state court before you can go to federal court? The guy's a walking contradiction, man. And the old age is kicking his butt, man. I think all that perm juice in his head done fried his brain. And that's what it is. He need to take that perm out his head and start thinking like a man. That's what it is. But let's continue. As you all can see, right, this is one of the responses. This response is from the defendants Maximum Inc. and Stacey Elrod. Right? I'm not going to read all this. It's 16 pages long, and it's 2 responses. It's one from Elrod, and we're going to go over the second response as well. We're not going to read them. I'm just going to scan through them. You all can pause the screen and read it, okay? I'm just going to read the bullet points, such as the introduction. You see that? So pause it right here. Pause the screen. Read it. Let's continue on. Statement of undisputed facts. Pause the screen. Read it. 3. Legal analysis. A. Standard of review. Pause it, read it. So if you're in federal court, these will be the same responses that you're going to get while you're in there. B. Law and argument. Pause it and read it. 1. There is no federal subject matter jurisdiction over the plaintiff's claims. Pause it and read it. A. The plaintiff claim is solely based on a domestic law matter, not a colorable claim under subsection 1331, capable of establishing federal question jurisdiction and should be dismissed. Okay, pause it, read it. It's 16 pages long, guys, so I don't have time to read all 16 pages because the next one document is 22 pages long, and I'm not going to read that as well. I'm just going to show y'all the responses so you all can see what's really going on. Okay? Take your time, pause it, and read all of it. Let's read B. B. The plaintiff has not satisfied the requirements of a for diversity of jurisdiction under subsection 1332. Pause it, read it. Okay? Let's continue. Number 2. Plaintiff claims are time barred. Pause it, read it. Number 3. The amended complaint fails to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Pause it, read it. A. Plaintiff is barred from bringing a subsection 1983 claim against defendants because they are government contractors. Again, government contractors are immune from suit. Pause it, read it. B. The plaintiff fraud allegations is without merit. Pause it, read it. C. The plaintiff claims for false advertising and compelled use of social security number fails as a matter of law. Pause it, read it. All the arguments this guy put up on his YouTube channel is the arguments his client filed. He filed for his client in federal court. These are the responses. Pause it, read it. Defendant Maximus and Elrod are subject to quasi-judicial immunity and from a Section 1983 action because they were enforcing the juvenile court's order. Pause it, read it. Okay? And the last one is the conclusion. Take your time, pause it, go back, read it, okay, if you haven't read it. But this is the first one. Now let's go to the next motion for summary judgment. This right here was Maximus and Elrod's motion for summary judgment. Now let's go to the next summary judgment. Okay, so this is the second response, okay? This response is Hamilton County, Tennessee, and Larry Henry response, okay? Again, these are the people that Gary Lynn Scott Jr. has sued in federal court. They all filed for a motion for summary judgment, okay? But let's continue. As you all can see, everything's still the same. He still has the 42 U.S.C. 654-3 alone, separate and apart child support program, XR. Now, again, let's do exactly what we did the last time. This is the introduction. Pause it. Read it. Okay? 22 pages long. Response. Cause of action. Asserted by the plaintiff. Pause and read it. Okay? Then it states, facts asserted by the plaintiff. Pause, read it. 4. Facts contained in the circuit court records. Pause it, read it. 5. Standard of review. Pause it, read it. 6. Law and argument. Pause it, read it. A. There is no federal subject matter jurisdiction over the plaintiff's claims. Pause it, read it. 1. Plaintiff claims is a domestic law matter, not a federal law claim under subsection 1331, capable of invoking the jurisdiction of this court. Pause it, read it. Take your time, really pause it and read it. Number 2. The plaintiff has not satisfied the requirements of a diversity jurisdiction under 1332, under subsection 1332. Pause it, read it. B. Plaintiff claims are time barred. Pause it. Read it. C. No Monell liability lies against the county under 42 U.S.C. 1983. Pause it. Read it. And keep telling y'all, man, start these federal courts and stop listening to these clowns out here telling you all to go in these federal courts, man, without no results to prove nothing. But let's continue. Hamilton County cannot be held liable based solely on a theory of respondent's superior and is entitled to be dismissed. Okay, pause it, read it. E. To the extent applicable to Hamilton County or Mr. Henry, the plaintiff claims for false advertisement and compelled use of Social Security number fail. Pause it, read it. F. Then it says, to the extent applicable to Hamilton County or Mr. Henry, the plaintiff's claims of peonages fails. So who always talking about this peonage nonsense? The fraud of law. All this stuff that he's teaching y'all, and they all fail. Every last one of them. Let's continue. G. Group pleading is not sufficient to impose liability on Hamilton County or Mr. Henry. Pause this and read it. H. Mr. Henry is entitled to qualified immunity. Pause it, read it. Service was improper as to Mr. Henry. Pause it, read it. The plaintiff has not articulated valid claims of fraud or fraudulent inducement. Pause it, read it. The plaintiff has not asserted a valid claim of fraud against Hamilton County or Henry County. Pause it, read it. 2. The plaintiff has not asserted a valid claim of fraudulent inducement against Hamilton County or Mr. Henry. Pause it, read it. I read both of them, but let's continue. The plaintiff claims of fraud and fraudulent inducement as to Hamilton County or Mr. Henry based on the acts of Mr. Henry or any agent of Hamilton County are specifically precluded by Tennessee Code 1920-205-6. Pause it, read it. And this is the end, guys. Conclusion. So again, when you all get time, pause it, read it. This is just part 2 of Mr. Henry's case. Of Mr. What we gonna call him? Gray Lynn Scott Jr. This part 2 of his case, okay? So like I told y'all, we're gonna see if the fraud of law nobody talking about, we're gonna see if his client right here get that remedy in federal court. The same federal court he keep telling you all to run into. But like I said, he already know the outcome. Because he know the outcome, he wanna run down and try to talk to some guy named Scott Ligon because he can't do nothing in federal court and he don't know how to articulate for his clients to get his clients a victory in court. All right, but that's what I'm gonna do for today. Part 3 be coming up shortly. All right, so you all be blessed. I say shalom.